Now back to our coverage of the Donald Trump presidency. John Dickerson is the moderator of Face the Nation, and he joins us once again from Washington, D.C. Good to see you, John.
Hey, Rick, good to see you.
So let's start with the accusations of inappropriate behavior by men directed at women, now hitting the world of politics with Senate candidate from Alabama, Roy Moore, and Senator Al Franken of Minnesota, and very different responses from President Trump, who, of course, has faced his own allegations of sexual misconduct. What should we make of all of this?
That's a good question, and they're asking the same question here in Washington. What's happening is not only are people reacting to the individual events and the details and the facts of the case of both, assessing the evidence and then deciding whether Roy Moore should drop out of the race, whether Al Franken should resign, whether people who have benefited from the PAC that Al Franken runs should return their money. Kirsten Gillibrand, a Democratic senator from New York, has returned the $12,000 or so that she was given by the Franken PAC. The president is delighting in the trouble this is causing for Al Franken, but he's been essentially mum on the question of Roy Moore, whereas a lot of Republicans, including the majority leader in the Senate, have said Moore should drop out. As you say, this also highlights, of course, that there's not only the president's audio tape describing or boasting about sexual assault, but then 12 women who came forward with allegations. What's going on is there's a new definition of what the standard is for treating those allegations seriously, and that standard is being applied to Moore and to Franken. And so the question is, will it be applied to the president and his past behavior?
I had the chance to listen to Steve Bannon today here in South Florida. He was taking part in a speaker series, and he was talking about the fact that as campaign chair for then candidate Trump, that he was joking that he couldn't even collude with Republicans here in the state of Florida, let alone collude with the Russians. Talk to us briefly about the Russia investigations. Where do things stand?
Well, we don't know where things stand with the special counsel. He's very tight-lipped, so he's continuing to do his work. The Senate investigators are more interested in Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law. He didn't turn over all the information that he was supposed to about both coordination between WikiLeaks and Donald Trump Jr. that was reported by The Atlantic this week. And then also there seems to have been perhaps an effort to set up a meeting between the Russians and candidate Trump that was not disclosed in emails that were turned over. So that's what the Senate Investigative Committee is interested in right now. As to the special counsel, it's all still a mystery of what his next move will be. And whether there will be any more indictments coming down. John Dickerson in Washington for us. John, thank you very much as always. And you can watch John on Face the Nation Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. right here on CBS 4. His guest this weekend, Republican Senator Tom Cotton and Democratic Representative Jackie Speier, who has been front and center in the talking about the way women are treated in Washington and in the workplace around the country. That's only here on CBS 4.